And now they're swinging it back again, and they're starting to walk it back. It's the way to do things nowadays. Just follow what England is doing. Well, what's happening? Well, here's a little catch-up on what happened from yesterday's video, where England is walking back this whole thing. Boris Johnson, BJ went to a party, got caught with no mask, blah, 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 and that's all it took. Now he's walking it back, and walking back, no mandatory cards needed, no mandatory this, no mandatory that, and they're just dissolving it all, and they're just going to use the judgment of the people. God bless England. So, God save the Queen. Now, what's going on? So, there it is, the video yesterday that we were talking about this, BJ to save the day. And really good video. If you haven't seen it, check it out. It's on YouTube and on Odyssey. But last night on Odyssey, we had a live show. I'll leave the link below with a lot of call-ins with people discussing what's happening and what's going to happen across the Commonwealth with other countries. Viewer discretion is advised on this one because we are fully open on that one. And don't forget to set your reminders for upcoming Mike in the Nights. Okay, so what's going on? Doug Ford hints he may ease some COVID restriction with the days. There it is right there. The Premier, Mr. Mobility, said he was not prepared to accept the Florida route. So Florida, as of March of 2020, Florida said, screw you, we're done with this, and started easing the COVID until the summer of 2020, where they got into late summer during the end of hurricane season there in Florida. They were completely off of the whole 2020. Forget it. And that's why all these leftist liberals are all moving to Florida, because they want to be free. They thought voting in... I'm not going to go into that right now. But anyways, walking it back in Ontario, Mr. Mobility. Now, what's going to happen to the families that lost everything? Families that got destroyed. Well, let's look and see what Mr. Mobility has to say here. So, Doug Ford, DF, hints he may ease. Ontario could announce an end to some COVID restrictions by the end of the week. Premier Doug Ford, Mr. Mobility, has suggested. In a Tuesday interview with News Talk 580's Morning Rush with Bill Collard, Ford was asked about the possible good news on the way. Well, the possible good news is on the way because of this guy screwed up and went to a party. And he had to, this by singing there, you gotta check it out, and where he got screwed over there. So there it is. In a Tuesday interview, blah, blah, blah. So there it is right there. There's no one that dislikes the lockdowns more than I do. Woo! I actually despise them, Ford said. So now he's walking it back, and look at the language he's using, that he's on our side. Well, we'll have some positive news. I believe we're going to make some announcements later this week about going back to other levels of restriction. The Ford government ordered the province to enter a modified version of step 2 bullshit of the provincial reopening plan bullshit on January 5th, returning schools to remote-only learning and closing gyms, theaters, and indoor restaurants, dining rooms, among other similar facilities. So where did we see this happen yesterday? Well, BJ. Good old BJ. Look at BJ. Look at BJ. They're telling the people that they're going to scrap everything because he got caught at a party with booze and drugs and partying it up. Anyways, Ford said he was not prepared to accept the Florida route. Open for business, but relatively high COVID-19 death toll, opting instead to show more caution. So we know what's going on if you followed Mike in the Night, because we can't speak about it on here. There is a lot of controlled opposition on YouTube that's allowed to speak. I say 2-3 words in conjunction, I get shut down and I get striked. There's channels out there, I've noticed, that are talking freely, but there's nothing happening to them. They're controlled opposition because they are basically they're getting told what to say. They come to smaller channels like mine, pick apart these videos and go ahead and make their own video because they don't have the brains to come on the fly and sing like I do. Anyways, so what was I saying? Anyway, so what's going to happen here? This is going to get really good because we know that a majority of the people that are in hospitals across Canada and other places are reporting that a majority of the people are fully juiced. They're juiced. So what does that say? So this is a problem. We got ourselves a problem. And according to Dr. F, he said that we're in stage 1 of this sickness. There's 5 stages in the sickness, and we're only in stage 1 right now. He loves being on TV, Dr. F, doesn't he? I always say one death is too many, Premier says. So now he's using the language to say, look, you gotta talk about this, adding his decision based on his advice he gets from doctors and scientists. No, he's not. Because if he got advice from his doctors and scientists, there would be a different story. But we'll come back very strong. Our economy's strong. No, it's not. You closed almost 300,000 plus small family middle class businesses that actually feed this giant. Ford was asked if he was encouraged that the Omicron wave may have peaked in Ontario. He would say no. Ford said, let's just hope there's no other variants coming. Okay, what if we just said what Bill Gates said a week ago, and we covered it on Mike in the Night? We're going to start treating any variants coming forward as the household flu, your typical seasonal flu. Let's just say that. Bill Gates said it. Mr. Sweater said it, okay? So, intensive care patients in the city's largest hospital remain stable for a week, blah, blah, blah. Nobody cares. So, let's move on. Ontario plans to ease COVID-19 restrictions on January 31st, so that's in about a week and a half. Ontario is planning to ease COVID-19 restrictions, indoor restaurants, dining, games, movie theaters, and more on January 31st, allowing them to open at 50% customer capacity with masking protocols and proof of the juice, sources told the Star. That's what they're saying now, but they're going to have to follow this guy, BJ, to save the day. BJ basically terminated everything. He said it was done. Because you know why? They were going to look into the party he was at. So I found out from sources in London that I know very well, messaged me and said, oh, by the way, Mike, the news isn't reporting, but they were going to start investigating everyone at the party to find out who was. A private investigation team was actually hired to find out who was jabbed or juiced to go to that party. Were they even allowed to be there? And then right then and there, he started to get worried. BJ got worried. So what did BJ do? BJ shut it down quick in a heartbeat. Canada, it's going to have to come to that because they don't have a choice. They're going to have to take the Florida route. God forbid. But that's what's happening. And a majority of Canadians with student loan debt are looking to jump ship, by the way. That's another video. Canadians looking to jump ship or leave Canada with tons of student loan debt because they believe in that narrative, high education gets you everywhere. I have no education. I worked for myself. I've always did my own thing. Except when I worked a little bit, I had my own shop too. Rebuilding transmissions back when I was a kid. In my younger years, believe it or not. So that's what I did. That was my trade. So anyways, guys, don't forget to check out episode 1319. I want to play a bit of it here, but I kind of don't want to because the audio is going to get me flagged because I say 3 things of audio in this thing. So I say 3 things of audio in this show, and I gotta be careful. So we're gonna just go check it out. Mike in the Night, link below in the first comment. I'll pin it to the top. Let me know they're swinging it back because none of it makes sense. Trust the science because that's what they want you to say. But I trust in God and Jesus, and that right there is who I trust in. The science, you can take that right there. Science is nice. Go fix my streets. Science is nice. Make my car burn less gas. Science is nice. Make sure my plane don't crash. Science should leave our lives, leave us alone, and let us be and live our own lives. Trust the science. Give me a break. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And come on, Mike in the Night, and call into the show. We had lots of good call-ins last night. It was a really good show, and I appreciate everybody. They're swinging it back again! And they're going to keep swinging it back. The pendulum is finally on return. Now we discussed this on last night's show. Is Joe Biden's approval rating is destroyed? Is he going to lift the Omicron or the Delta variant to improve his approval rating? Is he going to open up the country and save the day? Midterms on the horizon? Or are they going to save it for 2 more years? While Florida and other states are flourishing and nothing's going on. are they going to do that? And then they get reporters going in. I'm going to go report to the hospitals in Florida, but I'm not going to go there. I'm going to stand behind a green screen and tell people what's going on. Anyways, guys, lots of love. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I'll see you on the flip side. And Mike in the Night this Saturday, lots of call-ins. God bless. Thank you. Mike Martin's here. I have spoken.